Hey guys, welcome back to Accepting You, where we talk about topics that affect mental health. Today, our topic is self love through mental health, which is very important, especially since we're starting off the year and many tend to set goals for themselves that they plan to accomplish by the end of the year. And what better goal to accomplish is to seek the professional help that you deserve if you have been struggling with your mental health. Many times, many people are struggling with depression, anxiety, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts, self harm, traumas from the past that are becoming a baggage to them and are haunting them in their adulthood. Or if you're a teenager and it's not helping you grow, then it's the time to seek the professional help that you truly deserve. So, I came up with some steps that maybe will help you or motivate you to go get that help. I think this video is more about motivation for many to seek the professional help that they need for their mental health. And I think that's what this whole my YouTube is about, is to motivate people to get to that step. So, the first step that I came up with, if you are seeking professional help for your mental health, would be to acknowledge that you need professional help. Sometimes many tend to become accustomed to their battles with mental health. For instance, like I said before, like depression, anxiety, traumas, etc. People become accustomed because they feel that if they pay attention to what's affecting their mental health, what's bringing them down, is that they're letting it affect them. And because they are acknowledging it and what it's producing in them, if it's sadness, anger, etc., it makes them feel as if it's not worth it, because it's better to block than to feel or to acknowledge what's going on with me, because sometimes that's so much more easier. And we rather live life saying, I'm okay, or life is going to get better, even if inside we're saying life sucks, nothing is going good, I don't enjoy living anymore, etc., etc. If that's how you're feeling, if you don't acknowledge, then by ignoring it, you're making a pattern in your life, and there won't be growth in your life. You're not going to see yourself grow as a person, because there's always something that's going to be holding you back. And by doing that, you're really harming yourself, and that's not a form of self-love. You can go to the gym, you can go to the doctors, you can do all the stuff that you need, but if you're not even acknowledging that your mental health needs, that you need help because you're struggling due to things that have made you, or that the reason why you have depression, anxiety, trauma, bipolarness, then how is that going to work? In order for you to get help, you need to acknowledge that what's going on in your life in order to see growth. Once you acknowledge that you need professional help, that would go into the second step, finding a therapist for you. There are so many therapists everywhere, right? And because of that, they have different methods. And I say that, and I think that's so important to talk about, that they all have different methods on how they deal with anxiety, how they deal with depression, how they deal with eating disorders, and all that. Because sometimes you hear people say that the first time they went to their first therapy session, it sucked, therapist wasn't what they expected, and so they shut down and continue to live in the same patterns that they are not breaking, and then they don't see growth. And like we said, and I hope that we agree, that's not okay. So going with the thought that this is my first session with this therapist, give he or she the chance to show you how they work, going, give it a chance. And if really you feel like that's not the therapist for you on the first on like the first session, then listen, there's so many more therapists out there for you. Don't give up on the first try, because that's not fair to you. Remember, we're looking for growth and healing. So we're going to seek for the next person. We're not going to give up. Giving up right now would not be the best solution for you. Once, you find that professional, that therapist, that fits you, because remember, we're all different. We don't all have the same personality. So there will be someone for you as well. Do not lose hope. There is that one therapist that will help you. So that takes me into our third step, which is being open. Once you acknowledge that you need professional help, and then you find the therapist for you, then the third step would be to be open. You're meeting a complete stranger. They don't know you. So you're the one who's going to pretty much sit down and open up to them. And I know at first that can be very uncomfortable, and it's not something you do because you have bottled everything inside for so many years or months, and you just don't know how to talk about it. But what you put in is what you get out. You have to understand that in order for treatment to work and for them to give you the proper tools in order for you to, for your mental state to be at the right place it needs to be, is that you need to pretty much be yourself. Say what's triggering your depression. Say this is what's going on. If you don't know what you have, if you feel like you may have anxiety or depression or so on, you may not even have like anxiety and you think it, but you're not explaining it to them in details what's going on in your life, or why you believe you have anxiety, and explaining situations and circumstances that made you believe that, then how are they going to know how to diagnose you and treat you? For instance, like the best way I can tell you this is that when I went to therapy and when I was like going through depression, I tended to become very overwhelmed with my thoughts, and I couldn't determine if I was upset, angry at the moment. I don't know. So at that time, what my therapist said was, get a notebook. When you're feeling like that, write it down, and pretty much you will notice on that paper what's actually affecting you. It was literally something so simple that really did help me. So during that time, when I didn't know what was happening with me, but I knew that I was down and I didn't know why I was so upset or what was triggering it, I would write down what I was feeling, what I was thinking, and I was able to pinpoint it. And it helped me so much when I was able to pinpoint it, because I looked at it and I said, this is what's affecting me. This is what's making me upset. It's making me feel this way. And I could finally acknowledge it, and I wasn't overwhelmed anymore. And I was able to say, okay, this is what's making me upset. How can I fix it? And when I fixed it, I felt better and I was able to just move on. I think that when we allow ourselves to get that help, we see growth. And I don't regret, opening up to my therapist. And I know you won't either, because the point is to get help. And without them knowing what you need, how are you going to get that? If you tell them so little, they're not going to be able to give you that proper coping skill that you need. Say you're about to fall into depression and they say, listen, try this next time, and it works, or it actually helps. Wow. Wouldn't you? I know you're going to be happy. I know you're going to say, it was literally that simple, and I've been making it so hard for myself. And that's not fair to you. That's why I did this topic, because not only is it the beginning of the year, right? Best time to start thinking maybe it's time for me to get to get the help that I need for my mental health since I've been struggling. But then once you acknowledge it and you go through all of it, you're really going to see yourself grow and healing begins to happen. And I don't know about you, but that's the best feeling. Seeing yourself become the version of you that you imagined and even better. And all because you took the time to allow yourself to love yourself in many ways. Not only, like, for instance, I know people feel like a way of self-love, which is going to the gym if you're healthy. If your health is not okay, going to the doctors, yes, that's all needed. But if your mental health is the last priority and it's what's really holding you back, then you're not going to see the better version of you that you've been hoping for. And it's no longer hoping for, right? By the end of the year or in a couple months, you're going to say, and that's who I knew I could become. Because I didn't allow my depression to continue to be a baggage on me. I didn't allow the past traumas of me and how it triggered me to get into a dark place. Now I'm able to identify and I can move forward. And I hope that you allow yourself to get that professional help. It's really important, and I hope that this could help someone who you see needs professional help. And so that's really it to this topic. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and share this with someone if you feel that they really do need it. Thank you guys. Bye.